Alright. What in the world is happening? Alright, looks like we're doing homework. 7.1. Alright, so first things first, put your name on it. Name, fourth period, or fifth, whatever you want to do. Alright, don't forget. Thanks for paying. Seven. I get 8y equals 48. Divided by 8. Divided by 8. Say y equals 6. There we go. We're looking 6, but if you're listening and watching, then you would know it. So again, this is not meant to be copy down what I do. This is meant to be check your answers, and if you get stuck, here's some help. So this is the same idea. These two opposite sides are equal to each other. So this might take a little bit more work, but I say v plus 17 is equal to 5v minus 7. So I'm going to subtract v from this side, and I'm going to get 4v. I'm going to add 7 here, and I'm going to get that goes away and that goes away. This gets me 24. So I divide by 4, and I get v equals 6. Now I come back up here and I say 3w minus 1 is equal to w plus 23. I subtract w, that's a 4w. So I get 2w is equal to add 1 is equal to 24. Divide by 2, w equals 12. Put a 12 right here. There you go. So 3 is the same idea, just set them equal to each other and solve. Now here we're using a different principle. Here we're saying that opposite angles are congruent, not opposite sides. So if we look at the opposite angles, 5b is equal to 135. So I divide by 5, I get b is equal to, what, 29? Looks like to me. Okay. And then I do the same thing here. I say 5a and 35. 5a is equal to 35. Divide by 5, 5. A equals 7. Alright. Again, same idea here. Opposite angles are congruent. So 4 and 5 should be done the exact same way. Set them equal to each other. I'm going to do 6. It's a little more complicated. So I say here, I say opposite angles. 7m minus 15 is equal to 2m plus 60. Subtract 2m, gives me 5m. Okay, so I add 15, gets me 5m is equal to 75. Divide by 5, m equals, goes in once, and then 5 is 15. Here I've got z's going on for this opposite angles, so I say 7z plus 13 is equal to 90 minus 4z. Add 4z over, gets me 11z. 11z, I subtract 13 over, gets me to be 77, equals 11z. Divide by 11, z equals 7. Put it right there. Terrible stuff. What was I thinking? There we go. So, again, same idea, only now we're using bisectors. So 21 is now equal to 3x. because the bisectors are equal to each other. So now I say 3x is equal to 21. Divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals 7. And I say that 7y is equal to 42. Divide by 7, divide by 7, y equals 6. Again, same idea with the bisectors here. I say 11x plus 2 is equal to the other part of this red diagonal, which is 6x minus 8. Subtract 6x, subtract 6x to get 5x. I subtract 2, this gets me negative 10. So I say that 5x is equal to, that's a terrible 10. 5x is equal to negative 10, divide by 5, divide by 5. And I say that x is equal to negative 2. Some part of that doesn't make any sense. Let me think about this for a second. That's actually really funny that x equals negative 2 because we know that distances can't be negative. But in this instance, this would be negative 20, and this would be negative 20. Therefore, the distance of the entire diagonal would be negative 40, which doesn't make any sense because distances can't be negative. But that's okay. So now that we've solved for x, I'm going to erase all of this and work on the blue diagonal, which is going to say 9p plus 2 is equal to 7p plus 24. Subtract 7p, gets me 2p. I subtract 2 here, subtract 2 gets me 22 here. Because that goes away and that goes away. Okay, we've reduced everything down. Good. Divide by 2, p equals 11. There we go. Same idea here. We just set up your diagonals to be equal to each other. And, oh my goodness. Set up your diagonals to be equal to each other. And then solve. So it should be just like number 8. So now I go on to my next page. Go to page width. There we go. Alright, so if I tell you it's a parallelogram, find the value of the variables. So if QR is 5, then what is PS? Well, it's also 5, because opposite sides are congruent. Now, if PR is 20, PR, that's the diagonal, then find the value of x and y. Oh, sorry, find the value of y, because we're looking for px. That's this distance here. Well, I know that they bisect each other, so I know that it has to be 10. So over here, I say we got to find these angles. If this is 125, well, I know that B is 125, but that is angle QRS. So I say this is 125. Now A has to add to be 180 with these two values. So I say 180 minus 125 gets me 55. So I know this value here is 55. Ooh, good question. Here we go. If measure of angle 1 is 27, okay, pen is going crazy, and angle 2 is 30, then we got to find the measures of Z, which is angle 3. Angle 3 is going to be alternate interior with 27. So 27 and Z are the same. So this was 27. And this whole big angle is got to be equal to this whole big angle over here. So that means it's got to be worth 57. So my final answer should be 27 because of alternate interior angles. And then it should be 57 because of opposite angles are congruent. So the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Find the value of AB, X, and Y. So is 2, B is opposite 7, B is 7, X is opposite 5, X is 5, and then Y is 2. because 68 plus 112. I could have also done 180 minus 112. Sorrow here, 68. Either way, sorry, this pen is not doing what I wanted to do. That's all. Same idea here. Find the value of a, b, x, y. So a is opposite of 6, so I say a is 6. B is opposite of 5, so I say b is 5. Y is opposite of 74, so y is 74. X, this little teeny guy over here, is alternate interior with 50. So I say it's 60. Alright. Wow, this has got some cool stuff going on. Notice how A and 10 are bisected each other, so they're equal to each other. So I say A equals 10. Now notice B, again with the pen, what is the deal? Alright, so B is opposite of 10. So opposite sides are the same. So B equals 10. Huzzah. Now, this is where it gets tricky. X and 33 are alternate interior of each other, so they're equal. So I say 33. Now to find Y, I'm going to have to use vertical angles here. And to find this one, I've got to use triangle sum theorem to say they all add up to 180. So doing that, I get 33 plus 62 gets me what looks like 95. Well, 180 minus 95, 85. So that means that this angle here has to be 85. Vertical angle to here gets me 85. Again, if you just copied this down, you didn't get any benefit out of trying it on your own. So, best of luck to you on your test, because you're not going to have me do it for you. Look and see that A is opposite of 20, so A is 20. B is opposite of 2B is opposite of 28. So that means that B is going to be half of 28, which is 14. Now, interesting. 3y is alternate interior with 42. So 3y is equal to 42. Divide by 3, divide by 3. 42 divided by 3 is going to be what? 10, 14? Yes, 14. So y equals 14. Now, here we're looking at 4x is over here. Well, 4x is consecutive with this whole big piece over here. So this whole piece over here is 112, I believe. Yes, 112. And these have to add to be 180. So I say 112 plus 4x equal to 180. Subtract 112 over. Borrow gets me the 8, gets me a 68. So I say 4x equals 68. Divide by 4, divide by 4. 68 divided by 4. Some number. It's going to be a 1. Then 28 is going to be a 7. So it looks like it's going to be 17. Not entirely sure. But it sounds good. So, given a quadrilateral, more specifically a parallelogram, given a parallelogram TRAC, solve for the variables, show all your work. TC equals 3x minus 5, and RA is equal to 5. Then, notice how I'm not giving you a picture. T has to be TRA. I'm saying and if you didn't draw the picture, then you wouldn't know what to set equal to what. So Oh, there's my pen doing something crazy. If tk is equal to 2x plus 7, and ka is equal to 15, then what? Again, we're going to draw this picture. T, R, A. See, I didn't tell you where k was, but if you notice that t to k, and then k to a, there's got to be some value k here in the middle, in between t and a, right? So since I say they bisect each other, I know that 2x plus 7 is equal to 15. So 2x plus 7 is equal to 15, minus 7 minus 7. 2x equals, what is that, 8? Yeah. Divide by 2, x equals 4. The measure of angle 2 is equal to that. Is there some picture I'm supposed to be looking at? There is. The picture's below it. Look at that. I didn't even know. So apparently this is the picture. And this is the picture. And we did it right. I just didn't even have to. I didn't need the picture. I drew my own picture. Because I'm awesome. No big deal. But now for this one, we definitely need it. Angle 2 is right here. 2y minus 5. And y plus 17 is up here. Well, they're alternate interior to each other. So that means they're equal. 2y minus 5 is equal to y plus 17. Subtract y. That gets me a y on the bottom is equal to plus 5. Plus 5 gives me y equal to 22. Right, again, for this picture, they are opposite angles. Opposite angles are congruent. So 8y is equal to 120. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. Goes in once, and then 5, so it's going to be 15. Y equals 15. Cool. Hey, that's the last problem. If CTR is equal to equal 180 because they're combined. 12 is equal to 12 plus 12 gives me 3y is equal to 192. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Ooh, y equals, let's do this, 3 into 192 gives me 6 times, gives me 4 times. So 64. Y equals 64. There is homework 7.1 all done and pretty. See if this helps.